Hello there, WTC collectors. Today we have an
What's
exciting guest.
WTC stand for?
Wrestling trading cards. Wrestling.
Okay, go back to introducing me.
We call it WrestlingTradingCards.com. Everybody calls it WTC. So I say hello there, WrestlingTradingCards.com collectors, or just trading card collectors as a whole.
What about if people start thinking WTC means what the cuck?
When I first registered the domain, it was in 2002. And they wouldn't let me register WTC.com because of World Trade Center. They were blocking.
Now that's not. Now it's not. There's no longer there. So now you can. Oh, too soon.
Too soon. They stopped anything that was had anything remotely to do with the World Trade Center. I couldn't register that domain, so I had to go the whole name. But I'm excited to have you on today, sir.
You should be, frankly.
I really am. I miss these conversations with you. I really do. I remember back in the day doing some conventions with you, and you running through your jokes because you're doing some comedy stuff.
Stand up, yeah.
And I remember on a Friday, you'd have everything written out. You'd tell me these jokes, and I would laugh because they were funny as shit. They were laughing.
Thank you.
Then by Saturday, not so funny. Then by Sunday, I'm not laughing. You're like, why are you not laughing? And I'm like, because I've heard these jokes all fucking weekend. And you're like, yeah, but the delivery's different. It should be different now. Yeah, but the punchline's the same, sir. I've heard them.
Right.
I'm really happy to have you on because I know what a collector you are. You've been a big collector for a long time, but mostly in comics, right?
Well, yeah, I got like 30,000 comics, and I got like 200 statues and like 100 pieces of art. I got so much crap. Half of it's in storage. The other half is going to be going into. I'm getting ready to move soon, so I've been in the same place for 20 years, 21 years, 22 years, and so I'm gonna put a lot of it in storage and put a lot on eBay and try and move some of it. But I have so much stuff. It's ridiculous how much crap I kept.
I remember being over there and seeing. I think it was your bathtub just filled with boxes of busts and statue boxes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, this guy really is it. Because then up and down like the stairway up on the shelf, there was like all these action figures, statues, busts. You still have all that?
Yeah, I have all those statues. Yeah.
You had even comics lying around. Like, I still have this one you gave me.
That's worth about zero.
I took the price tag off it.
It's sentimental. It's sentimental. Yeah.
But
for anyone who doesn't know, that's my Spider-Man comic I wrote for Marvel Comics. I co-wrote for Marvel Comics, so I'm proud of that.
It's a great issue. I actually liked it. I hadn't read comics in a long time, and when you gave me this, I actually was just getting back into stuff like Why the Last Man and
oh, that's a great book.
That's a great series. Oh my God! And then what was it? Is it Ex Machina?
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. I love that.
I thought it was Ex Machina, but Daniel's correcting me. It's Machina.
Machina. It's like that. That was a great political comic. I mean,
yeah.
It's all Brian J. Vaughan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a J, but it's Brian Vaughan, definitely.
Brian Vaughan. And I started following it. So I go, I really like this guy's style. And I love that artwork and stuff like that too. And then of course I got told you should go probably read Preacher and things like that. And so I read that kind of stuff too. And I enjoyed those as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that people like, the usual stuff people recommend, and then there's the real hardcore collectors like I used to be. Now, I didn't collect to be a collector though. I just like to read the comics, so, but you buy 30, 40 a month. I mean, 30, 40 a week, they stack up, they add up really quick. And
so as a kid, did you collect them? Or is this from your childhood or only as you became an adult?
I read them as a kid. And then I sold them as a kid for like peanuts because all of a sudden one day I decided I didn't want them anymore. And my mom, usually your mom throws out your comics. My mom tried to argue with me. She's like, don't sell them, hang on to them. They're going to be worth more money. And I'm like, no, I'm getting rid of them. And I sold like, 300 comics for like $11 or something back in like 1975 or something. And then, something like 78 maybe. And then I stopped reading comics, and then in around 97, 95, people started telling me the comics got good again. They got written for adults, they were more literate. Basically what happened was people who read comics as a kid decided they wanted to write comics, but they didn't want to write for kids. They wanted to write for themselves. So they started writing for, it became more literate, higher level of diction. The storylines were so much more cleverly plotted. It's like the difference between ECW and pretty much everybody before it. The storylines were cleverly plotted. There were no continuity errors. It was written for adults.
Yeah, that's kind of how when I first picked up a copy of a trade of whatever issue it was of Why the Last Man, and I open it up and I go, "Holy shit! There's nudity and there's like language. Like this is like written for adults. Like this was a cool comic."
Yeah, and so and then but around 2010, they changed the whole DC universe, and Marvel was changing a bunch of shit. And I was tired of I got tired to the point where I was, you become obsessive. You have to read all your favorite authors and all your favorite characters, and it was just too much that I was spending. I was spending, I was buying 30, 40 comics a week, which is the equivalent of like $4 a comic, because it's the most expensive hobby there is, because nowhere do you pay that kind of money for that shorter reading. It's like you buy a book, you spend, you might buy a book might cost the same as a comic, but the book you read for 8 hours, a comic you read in 10 minutes, So I just got tired, and I didn't like the way the way they changed the whole story, the whole universe, and stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to quit cold turkey. And I really haven't read much since. I've read, I might read a couple trade paperbacks a year, but that's about it. I rarely read any comics. Plus, also, when you read that many comics, you have no time for regular books, and no time for TV, and I'm a huge TV addict, and I love reading books. I don't even read books anymore. There's so much TV to watch, so it's
50,000 channels and still nothing to watch.
But there is stuff to watch. That's the thing, though. There's a lot to watch. It really is. I mean, and it doesn't matter what your taste. Like I just watched this great series on HBO, The Flight Attendant. With Kaylee Cuoco or whatever her name is.
Oh, Kelly Coco. Yeah.
Yeah. Kelly Coconuts. And it was at first I wasn't going to watch it, but then Selena wanted to watch it. So I was like, I'll watch it with her. And basically she sleeps, takes home, she's a drunken floozy, and she hooks up with this guy, and then she goes home, and then she goes home with him to his hotel in Bangkok, and then he gets murdered. And so she's going to be suspected of it. And then it's the whole big mystery, and it's like 8 episodes, and it's amazing. It's so sharply done, sharply delineated characters, and cleverly done.
I have to tell my wife; she might be interested in watching that.
You'll be interested. It's really, really good. I mean, it's not a chick show, although chicks. I think it's sold a little bit as a chick show, but it isn't. Not at all,
Well, I definitely have to check it out then, because I'm sure she'll make me watch it too anyways, because she's into all that stuff. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I just started watching the WandaVision one the other night. We watched both those. Yeah,
don't tell me. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by it.
My favorite show right now that it's been one of my favorites for the last 10 years is back on again, The Blacklist.
Oh, I watched the first 3 seasons of that and really enjoyed it. And I just kind of dropped off.
It's still just as good.
Really?
Literally just as good.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch them again, though, because I really enjoyed those.
You have to. It's amazing. And it's another good one that just ended last year was The Blind Spot.
Did not see that. No, didn't see that. Just wrapping up Criminal Minds right now.
I hate Mandy Patinkin.
Why?
Because he's so pretentious. His name came up on our podcast last week, ironically, and that's good. Everybody agreed that he's a pretentious. He was great in The Princess Bride, but after that, he became a pretentious dick. Or he probably was at the same time when he made that too.
You only know him from that role anyway, so.
Plus, I watch the UFC every single Saturday it's on.
Yeah, I don't. I just watch highlights online. I don't really just kind of check out the results. But I follow all sports that way, though.
But see, the fights now are so good. Like I'd say 75% of the fights are really good. Like, they'd be at least 3 stars if they were being graded by Meltzer. The level of talent has gotten so good that it's no longer the big UGG matches where you're like, oh, it's just gonna be boring to watch. There was only, and it's on literally they run last year they ran every single Saturday once they started running again, every single Saturday. So it's great. You know, it's a you know, if you're a fan like me, like I don't even watch pro wrestling. I haven't watched that in 20 years, you know, but literally
You
20
haven't
years.
watched it, but you've still been a part of it in some way, shape, or form.
Right. But I'm saying, but I haven't watched it in years. Like that's why when you said before we said about Heath Slater, I wouldn't know him if I tripped over him. Like I really don't even know what he. Like
He
I've
was
heard the name.
super nice guy, very into collecting.
No. I've heard the name. I mean, I know of the name, but if you gave me a lineup, I couldn't pick them out because I've never seen them. You know.
Totally understand that. As collecting as a kid, did you ever collect anything besides comics, like trading cards of any kind?
Yeah, I collected trading cards, and I remember that the Bob Greasy card was impossible to get the year they went 17-0, and
Is that 72 or something like that?
72, yeah, 72. And I remember that was like the hot card, and then somebody finally got it, and they're like, you know, me and the neighborhood kids were like all jealous because somebody finally got Bob Greasy.
And
he didn't even play that season. He was out. Earl Morrall ran the whole season.
Did you collect other cards besides sports cards? Because there were non-sport cards.
There weren't non-sports cards in 72.
Sure there were. They've been non-sport cards since the 50s.
Like what?
Mars Attacks.
No, in 72 there wasn't any Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks was 1950, 60 something.
Well, what in
1940s?
1970. Oh, I thought you meant to read the later the movie.
Well, movie cards, yeah, in the 70s, Top started exploding things in the 70s with Star Wars and all kinds of stuff back then. So
yeah, no, I collected before that. This is what I collected I collected, I think, till like 72, and I collected the 4 big sports, or you know, I don't know if I collected hockey cards. Were there? I guess I must have. But
oh yeah, there were hockey cards for sure.
But yeah, but what other in 72? Look, see what other cards there were, because I can't think of anything.
Well, you know, it's not like with pop culture today. It's like that. There wasn't a whole lot. They were making a lot of trading cards for TV shows like Xena, and you know they didn't Buffy and stuff like that. But none of that stuff. But they made Kiss cards in the mid 70s. They made Wonder Woman cards. There was Batman and Robin from the TV show from the 60s.
Oh yeah. You're right. And probably the Monkees had cards.
The Monkees, the Beatles, they all had cards.
Right.
There wasn't as much as there is today, but
yeah. Well, it wasn't like you could walk in you know, then you walked into a drugstore, because 7-Eleven just like, I think they started in like 72, at least. Like I remember like when they first came out, 7-Eleven first opened from 7 till 11 at night. Holy shit. You know, that was a big deal. You know, nothing was open till 11 at night back in the early 70s. Except the strip clubs, I guess. But you know, I was at 72, I was 8. I didn't have a fake ID that made me look 13 years older.
God, how old was I? I was 4.
Yeah.
I was 4. No, I was 3, almost 4. You remember the first time you were ever you were yourself on a trading card?
The first time what?
That you yourself were on a trading card. Because the debate amongst collectors right now, this might be one of your first cards ever right here. This card right here.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it might be. But I don't even know who made it. I don't even know who put it out.
I believe it might be BBM. Somebody, it's from Japan.
I don't think I even got paid for it.
It's pretty elusive card set. There's like, I think 9 or 10 cards in the set. Someone had reached out to Dreamer about it, and Dreamer said, yeah, those came out like 96 or 97. And they were from when you guys did a tour over there in Japan, supposedly.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people they can't find it, and they're looking for that card. I've got a lot of offers.
What's it worth?
No idea, but I'm sure probably something good, because I've been I posted this and they go, do you own that card? Yes, I own this card.
Well, what's something good? What's considered something good in comic and card values?
For wrestling?
Yeah.
It has to be graded, first off, from a grading company. So PSA or Beckett. Lately, the market is exploding right now. So Hulk Hogan 82 All-Stars graded, one just sold for $36,600.
Okay, no, what would the Japanese Raven card run for?
Don't know. No one's had it graded yet that I'm aware of.
But they don't sell without a grade?
Sure, they sell it. What's called buying it raw. But most
Ah,
people now, for an investment standpoint, want to get it authenticated by a grading company. Now it's been slabbed in a nice protection, and it now holds more value to it.
does it
Uh,
hold more value with a signature or without?
some would say yes, some would say no, but looks like
Yeah,
I would say probably yes.
yeah, because the comic books, it's worth less with the signature on it.
And in sports too, if it's not already signed, like a pack pulled autograph
Right,
card, like
right,
if I were to take this card to you and you were a football player and say, Raven, sign my football card, a lot of guys would say, oh, you just devalued it now because
right,
you've marked
right,
it up. Whereas I think in wrestling, it's a different market. People like that shit. They like it.
right.
And I think that if it's a nice clean card with a nice clean signature on it, just sign Raven across it. That's it. And I take it to the grading service and have it, graded, and it comes back at a nice high grade. Um, it could be worth something a lot more.
I just got texted. I write like a new joke like every couple days, and I sent my buddy Busby. I don't know if you ever met him. I send him whenever I write one, I send it to him, and so you get the responses from haha to
Haha.
from like haha with being good to a rolling of the eye emoji. You know what I mean? And so today got a big pop. I got a huge pop
Got a
for
big
my
pop, huh?
yeah
Well, I
yeah because
liked
I was
it. At least I got to
basically
be around. I got to be around the early days when you started writing that stuff out in your notebooks or like that, and at the conventions, is like that was.
yeah. Now I'm too lazy. I've been way too lazy for years to write it out. Now when I just happen to think of a joke, I'll text it to myself, and then I got a year's worth of text jokes to myself that eventually after a couple of years I'll send to my computer, and then I'll keep a list, and then I'll eventually add them to the act. But I haven't done stand up in over a year because of the pandemic.
Of
So
course.
yeah,
So would you say this is your first card?
I would guess. I don't know. I don't think I'd have one before that.
I don't think so, because in '98 with WCW, that was your first card in '98.
That was my first card. Okay.
Domestically, yes, domestically, because this one was overseas. This one was
Okay.
from the '98 WCW Nitro set,
Okay.
or
I believe
'99,
you.
I guess. But prior to, I mean, and then after that, I mean, I can share some stuff here with you as well too. Um, they had cards that were inserted in action figures. So we had like this one where it's called, Bash of the Brawlers from
Oh,
2000.
right.
So even
That was,
though,
that was when Sandman actually when he actually got rid of the brassiness in his bleach blonde hair.
and so they had randomly inserted cards in there, where they also did another series called Champion Clashes. They had sticker versions of them.
That's one of the hardest action figures to sign because there's really no place to sign it except down on the bottom Raven in real small letters because the colors are so loud and fluky
Yep.
that when you try and sign it anywhere and there's no space to really sign anything, well. So
I'm sure you signed a few of those over the years.
oh yeah.
Do you keep any of your figures? Do you have all your own figures?
Yeah, I have everything. I got one of everything at least.
How about trading cards?
Yeah, I got one of each at least.
Except for the one I showed you, that Japanese one.
I got about half a dozen of those.
Oh, and I have this one here.
I got one of those. What's that from?
That's a 2014 Leaf set. So Leaf did these, and they're all autographs.
From who? For what company?
Leaf.
No, what wrestling company?
It doesn't matter. It's they don't have the rights to any specific company, so they do artist rendition versions.
I'm saying who would have hired me and paid me for that?
Leaf.
Would they? Was I in a company? What company was I working for?
It wasn't for when you work in the company. It could have been anybody. It just could have been contacted you at a convention, say, hey, would you like to sign these cards? We'll pay you X amount.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that sounds vaguely familiar.
Unlike this was with TriStar. For the
wait, that one was 2014, the one you just showed me?
Yeah, this one was 2014. They did that one.
Yeah, I guess I got paid for it. I'm pretty sure I must have.
And this was from 2004 when TriStar or Pacific had the license for TNA.
Yeah, that's a good looking card.
You also had a ring mat card too, which I have laying around somewhere.
Okay.
Then we have this one from 2002, the Raw versus SmackDown set.
That's a good looking card.
And then we have this one from 2001 from the Championship Clash.
Looks like we're gonna make out.
Probably. I'm sure you probably did.
Yeah, we probably did.
You probably did. You know, there's crazy stipulations.
We didn't need any stinking stipulations.
But I mean, you've been
What
with
else
so
you
many.
got? What else you got?
There's so many to even go. I just grabbed a few of them to share with you and stuff like that to see if they ring any bells for you. But you've been through so many different with Leaf and then WCW. You had in '98. You had TNA in 2004, TriStar in 2010, Leaf in 2014. So many different companies that you've signed cards for. Do you have any memories of signing any of those cards? Like, did they come to
Yeah,
the
there was
the actual
one.
show and have you sign them there, or did they mail them to you, or what?
No, some of the both, I think. I remember I was at a show and they had brought the cards and it was Tops, and I'm like, who signed the cards the fastest? And it was somebody like Yagi Yagerson or something, some hockey goalie. They said he has the record. I go, what is it? And they told me, I go, I'll break it. And I go, time me. And I just started, because all I got to do is R squiggle, R squiggle, R squiggle. And I broke the record, but it wasn't official or anything, unfortunately. For the most signatures.
Between you and that guy, it was. Like at WCW once for '98. Did you sign cards? I can't remember if you signed cards for WCW back for Tops back then in '98.
I don't know what they look like. You have to show me.
I'd have to go find it. And then for Leaf, that usually be through somebody, like someone would go and say, hey, I know Ravens like that. You were doing a trading card? Yeah, we'll do trading cards, get a deal with him done. And they would pay you per signature kind of thing.
Yeah, somebody just offered me to do a card game.
Probably SRG Universe.
Yeah.
For Super Show.
Yeah, I guess.
Are you doing them?
Yeah, I gotta sign a contract.
That's nice. That's great. Those should be fun. It's actually a really fun game. I've played that game before.
There's some guy that always did for years kept trying to get me to sign cards for a game, and I'm like, what do I get out of it? He goes, well, no, you don't make any money. I'm like, then why am I going to give you my likeness? He's like, well, other people do. I'm like, well, they can do it. I'm like, why would I give you? I think the guy was Filsingers or something like that. And the guy I go, are you getting paid for these? He's like, yeah. I'm like, then why would I not get some?
At least he's being honest about it, right?
Well, he had no choice. I mean, it was obvious he's getting paid for it.
Checking out the some of the cards here to make sure and see what ones that you actually signed autographs for, because there's so many. When I do a database search on WTC's website, there's 3 pages of cards of results when I do a search for your name that show all the different sets that you're involved in.
Wait, who's what now?
When I do a search on the WrestlingTradingCards.com website and put in Raven, there's 3 pages of results that show up for all the different card sets that you're
how many cards per page?
Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 per page.
So I have 30 cards out about?
Looks like about 30 different, page 3 is only 2 cards. So about 22 different sets that you're referenced in.
By sets, you mean, but individual cards is the...
Yeah, individual releases that came out that you have a card in.
Well, okay, so
like in 2001, there was a set by WWF from Fleer called Raw's War. You're in that set. In 1999, you were part of the WCW Nitro stickers. In 2002, you were in a WWE Royal Rumble set.
What about the birthday cards WCW put out? Do you collect them too?
I don't really get involved in like holiday type stuff. And
no, it was an actual birthday card. That they go that they have like wrestlers on and during the Nitro Wars. They put us on everything then. Like I got stickers and Valentine's Day stickers.
Valentine's Day cards as well.
Valentine's Day card, I guess maybe. I don't know. I forget.
I think I even found, but it was limited. I found like old WCW air fresheners.
Yeah. We have a little Matchbox cars.
Yes, they have those. And there's cards inside those and some of those.
Is there? And then there's also a truck. There's a truck about this big.
There's 1999, what they called 1999 WCW Nitro Street Rods.
Right. Or there's also trucks. They're about this big. They're pretty cool.
It's hard to see because it's a smaller image, but there's like a lenticular type of card that they shared wrestlers with from those Those street
What do
rods.
you mean by, what do you mean lenticular?
They're kind of like, they're kind of a little, they move a little bit. So they have a little motion to them.
I never saw this card,
So it's, this one is you and Luger.
which I've never been in a ring with Luger. Who put that? When did that come out?
It came out in 99.
I never saw. That's something I've never seen.
So it was called, the set, which I'll share with you. The set is called Street Rods. I had it here somewhere. I'll just share it again. Yeah, it's called Street Rods. Oops, we can close out this one and go right back to here. So it's called the 1999 WCW Nitro Street Rods, limited edition adult collectible cards inside them. So they had these different ones here. They were measured 3.5 by 6 inches long.
If anybody got a spare one, send it to Tony to send to me because I'd like to have it. That's the only one I don't have. I didn't even know that it existed.
There's a lot of cards out there, man, that some guys don't even know existed.
Well,
And
yeah,
here's,
show me the rest. Show me the rest of the cards on me.
sure. Let me show you some of them. Again, the images aren't that great because they were scaled for, different, but that's Booker T and Bret Hart.
No, I don't want to see that. I want to see the ones of me.
That's the only one you're in on that one.
No, I'm saying the other series.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, you got the KB Get Real toys here. So here's
I've never seen that one either.
I have a full set right behind me.
I'll take one.
You're not taking my set.
No, I'll take one. I'll just take one of mine. I mean, if you got.
If I have an extra one, I'll send you one.
I've never seen anybody, but see, nobody's ever brought me those 2 cards ever to sign either.
So these cards were originally done for KB Toys. When you bought like $10 of the toys, you got a little pack of cards, 3 cards, and there were, I believe, how many cards in the set? Come on. There are 18 cards in the set.
Yeah, what I'm saying though is nobody ever, like, usually every card, everything that is made of you, somebody brings it by at some point to get it signed. And you just showed two cards that no one's ever brought me to sign.
That's incredible, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. Clash. What else they got that I might not know about?
I showed you the Clash one already. And then they have, this is from the 2002 Royal Rumble. So I have to, there you are right there.
Yeah, I got that one. I've signed that.
We can go back to, what else we got here? You might be this one, 1999 Gladiators. This is from Peru, I think. Yes, Peru. And I have the full set behind me as well. It's very hard to come by. And I've gotten offers for it before in the past. I'm not willing to.
I think I have one of those.
That was only available in Peru.
Yeah, I think somebody gave me one, or so I traded for it or something. Like, whenever I'm at a show, if somebody has a card I never had, I'll trade them another card for it.
Or an autograph of some kind for it, I'm sure. We've done that before.
Right, yeah. Right, yeah.
Here's the 2003 WrestleMania 19 set. Where are you? Holy crap.
Not in it.
Yeah, you are in it.
Oh, there I am, alphabetical order after Randy Orton. Oh, yeah, I've seen that a million times.
What else do we have here? Mega stickers from 2001. I don't have an image.
What about other countries?
There's a lot of countries out there. Here's a great topic we've had recently. It's about there's a lot of homemade cards and what we call bootleg cards now, because technology is so advanced now that people can make their own trading cards. Right. There are actually online sources where you can actually submit images, and as long as there's no copyright infringements, which is really hard to do, people did print these cards. And there's a guy who calls himself Husker Have. His name is Anthony, and he specializes. He was in the military, so he's traveled all over the world, and he specializes in foreign wrestling cards. So he's got cards out of Russia, out of Italy, out of Singapore. He's got cards all over the place, and I can't wait to get him on as a guest because he has a lot of insight on those international cards that we don't know a lot about.
But officially made cards, there's like, I'm sure other countries, I'm sure NWO, WCW, when it was during their Nitro years, I'm sure they printed them in other countries, right?
Sure, absolutely. And that's what the site's all about, trying to track down, is trying to find those things.
So there's got to be more than 20. I probably have 22 American cards. There's probably more foreign cards.
I'm sure there's got to be a lot more foreign cards of you and everybody else out there, I'm sure.
What's the Danbury Mint one?
That's one when they did those gold ones, where they did them in gold. You had to,
Oh,
you got 2 cards a month. And they didn't, there was no rhyme or reason to how they released them like that, but they were like done in a gold.
yeah, that one's a weird one because it looks like you can't even see it. Like, looks like it's the card's about somebody's butt.
It's probably what it is. Who knows who you're fighting there too? I have no idea. In the back would have some, buy information about you.
Looks like Steve Dahl.
Almost looks like Stevie Richards. But that's what we have on WTC. We hope to expand it more when we start bringing it back, because there's so many more card sets that have been done in the last 5-6 years that we never even knew about. When I started WTC in 2002 was because it was based on my personal collection. I couldn't find information about the cards that I had. Like, I found a card, I know where I got it, I didn't have any information about it, so I started archiving it myself. And so the site was based on my personal collection. I don't really collect anymore. It's just my collection lives online now.
You don't collect anymore, but you don't collect any less.
This is very true. So it's a labor of love to keep that going, and then getting information from people over the years. And so much has been discovered because the world's so much smaller now because of the internet.
Yeah, now it's all, well, they put the world in the dryer, so it shrunk.
Yes, absolutely they did. And the internet makes it available for me to go and find a lot more things I didn't know existed. On the flip side, I have to be, as a collector, you kind of have to be mindful of making sure you're not being ripped off by counterfeit or bogus things. Because guys going, hey, I had this rare, never before released Raven autograph card that maybe somebody brought to you. That was a homemade thing they did, and you signed it. And now they're trying to sell it as something that was never really legit.
You know what's funny is people will send me, they'll email, or not the email, they'll mail me cards, in the hopes that I'll sign them. They just, which I respect that they'll send their cards because they're worth money, I mean, at least $1 or so, whatever, 50 cents. But I'm saying, but they'll send me cards. Like back when I was a kid, I wanted to, like celebrities autographs or, hockey player autograph. I'd ask for an autograph. I wouldn't have thought to send my trading card along with it. You know what I mean? But then you get the people that, so if the people send me 2 cards, I'll sign them, and send them back to them. I shouldn't have said that. Now I'm going to get mobbed with it. I'm not doing it anymore. No more. I'm not signing any. I'm done.
What you used to do. What you're saying is what you used to do.
What I used to do. Well, one guy sent me 13 things to get autographed. Sent like $10. Like that was like that. Oh, $10 for 13 autographs. And he has to know they go for like a minimum $10 a piece at a convention, right? So
what did we used to charge? I mean, you and I have worked a lot together over the years, right?
20 at a convention, 10 at a wrestling show is what it usually was.
How many conventions do you think you and I have done?
Hold on, wait. The guy sent like 13 items, sent a marker, didn't even send a letter. Just expected me to know what to do. And so basically I signed 2 pictures and I sent the $10 and the whole thing back. Because if they don't include a self-addressed stamped envelope, then I don't even bother with it. But he included a self-addressed stamp, so I sent 2 back, and I go, you got a lot of balls or something. I basically wrote, you sent me 13 things to sign, and you don't even write a fucking letter, you fucking douchebag.
Not even a dollar a piece.
Here's 2, and take your stupid $10 and keep it.
Do you send the rest of the cards back too?
Yep, I sent everything, but yeah.
That's good.
I'll sign 2 just because I'm a nice guy. Just because I didn't want to, I could have totally healed on him, but I was like, maybe the kid's retarded. So I was like, oh, I'll sign a couple. Oh, you can't say retarded anymore. I have to say mentally challenged.
Yes, we don't use the R word. We have so many words, R words. F
But how
words.
do pirates talk then, Nick? They always use the R word.
R.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I'm gonna send you the rolling the eyes emoji on that one. Yes. Has anybody recently contacted you about doing a trading cards set besides the SRG, like doing an autograph series or anything like that at all?
I don't know. I don't think so. I got action figures and you get all kinds of weird offers. Most people just want you to. It's really weird now. Lately, I've been getting like all these requests for shows and stuff by people with horrendous grammatical skills and penmanship. Like, well, I guess it's not penmanship, it's typemanship. But they're like, there's like typos galore. There's no punctuation. There's like run-on sentences. It's like,
That's
and
the worst.
then it's confusing because they don't reference back to what they're referencing. Like, they'll use, they'll say like, I'll give you this much money for a show, but if you can do this show, then we'll do that. But then tomorrow go somewhere else. I'm like, it's written so illogically, and I'm like, what do these people think? Like, like, and then like sometimes like one guy signs it like he's from a like he's signs it like Joe, no, like all championship touring or something, like, so it's like trying to make it like it's a real company, but it doesn't even check for spelling. I mean, it's so infuriating.
I hope that when I send you offers like that, they're at least more detailed for you.
No, they are. Yours make perfect sense. They're written like an adult, but this is like a 7-year-old starting his own business and trying to, and I'm like, but it's not, it's adults doing it. But I'm like, and I get that people don't, might have weak grammatical skills, but at least run a spell check, for God's sake.
By default, I think, don't most email programs have that already? I mean, come on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what those red lines underneath the words means, but I'm going to keep going.
Who is calling me now?
It's certainly not me.
Yes, I will take it later. I'm so unprofessional. I don't turn my phone off for your show.
It's okay, man. I appreciate you even taking the time. That's what I appreciate.
The reason I don't turn it off during the show is because then I forget to turn it back on. And then I'll go like 6 hours or 12 hours or 2 days without turning my phone back on. And I'm like, or even if I just like cancel, put the noise block on, the block the ringing, I'll forget to reset that. And then next thing you know, I'll play like 18 calls and I'm like, why haven't you called? And people be like, why haven't you called me back? And I'm like, I didn't even.
I totally forgot. Hey, are you still sporting that Denny's style
well, it's a Waffle House table. It's
Waffle House table.
It's not a Denny's. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Still got the steel trash can in the middle of the room.
Yeah. I was gonna get rid of that, but Selena made me keep it. She likes it because she thinks it's funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Now every time I go,
that's how you know. That's how you know she's a cool chick, because she thinks it's funny. That's like a guy's thing to be funny.
That's a keeper right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think maybe one down the road, I think you and I should do a trading card for you, exclusive to you.
Whatever you want to do. I love you, so whatever you want to do, man.
We'll take some time and do it. This is my first one. I've been testing them out.
I'm doing this goofy podcast, aren't I?
Yeah, which I appreciate, man. Like, I sent you a text.
Not a problem.
I go, what's the worst thing he could say is no, fuck off.
Yeah. Worst I could say is no, but of course I wouldn't say no to you, man. You're a friend.
I do appreciate it, but anything else about trading card wise? Like, what's the weirdest thing someone's ever brought to you as far as a trading card? Like, had someone ever did like a mock-up weird version? Because some guys take trading cards and cut them and do weird things to them.
No. Nothing really weird that I can think of with trading cards.
What is the weirdest thing someone's brought to an event? I'm trying to remember when we worked together, what they brought to you for to sign. I can't remember. I think someone brought like some ring worn gear, but it's not really weird.
My favorite thing that was brought to me was somebody had a guitar, like a dented up, banged up, broken guitar, and he wrote dreamer die on it. And so he brought it for me to use as a weapon, and I ended up keeping it. Wow, where is that thing? I guess it's in storage. And then
I have something you brought to my house one time. You wrestled for Bart at AWS years ago in Southern California.
Right.
And then you came from his house to my house, and you brought the Singapore cane over.
Right.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you might have tagged my friend there because he wanted to know if it was real, and you might have tagged him with it. Yeah, and I have it in my closet actually.
Oh, cool.
I remember that time. I remember you walking up my stairs going, "What room is this?" That's my daughter's room. Get the hell out of my daughter's room. Which, by the way,
how's she doing?
She's getting married in September.
Congratulations.
She's having baby number 2 in July, and
cool.
Very happy living in Utah with a really good man.
Good. That's all you can hope for as a father.
Yeah, I mean, she's an incredible mother, and I'm super proud of her. And we didn't get along for quite a long time, and I think now, since I've gotten married and I settled down, I have a son myself now. He just turned 2 on Monday.
Wow. How old are you now?
I'm 51.
Wow, you don't look that old at all. I
Thanks, I
thought you were
appreciate it.
younger.
I had had surgery recently. Had my nose was fixed. It was crooked, thanks to my father. Yay! Um, and then, but I can breathe a lot better now. And I had that bump on my head forever. I got it taken out.
No, I have no recollection of a bump on
You
your
know,
head.
and everybody says that. You know who actually does recognize it all the time was freaking Jericho. Every time I did an event with him, he'd be like, "Oh, did you get in a fight with someone?" And it's like, "Why? We talking that bump, that lump on your head's a good sized lump." And so I got tired of it, and they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't. Doctors wouldn't remove it. It wasn't covered by insurance because it would be cosmetic. It was just a fatty tumor, lymphoma, or something like that.
Right.
But my nose was a problem. It was causing breathing issues. So they used that as an excuse since I was going to be under to take that out.
Oh, okay.
So I had them both done, and it was nerve wracking to me because I'd never had surgery before. So um,
Yeah, it's not that rough.
I had Nash kept texting me, to kind of walk me through. If you're getting nervous, tell me you want the cocktail, and they'll take care of you for you. So I asked for the cocktail, and sure enough, I had a good time.
Good.
All next thing I know is I woke up and I had tampons up my nose. Literally, what they put up your nose.
Yeah, no, I had nose surgery once because my sinuses are really bad. They've always been bad, but way back in Portland, I got them done. And when I woke up, like in the emergency room, I mean, not an emergency room. I woke up in the whatever the room is where you go to, the recovery room.
Recovery room.
Or in the recovery room, and I'm like, I can't breathe, and she's like, breathe through your mouth,
Mouth.
idiot. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was so used to being a nose breather. I was like, I can't breathe.
I woke up choking to death.
And then the worst was, or the best, depending on how you look at it, was so my sinuses, because I got them both the turbinates bored out, and so I could breathe better, so it was a bigger opening, and I'd blow. So they said you're going to blow a lot of snot out for the next week or so. I was blowing chunks of green phlegm this, like this big, like just huge, enormous chunks of green phlegm. It was disgusting, but pretty cool at the same time.
Depending on your perspective, yes.
Yeah, like you blow one out and you're like, holy shit, that came out of there. And then you'd be like, that's got to be it for now. And then like an hour later, you're like, blow another one. You're like, where are these coming from?
That first 3-4 days were brutal for me because I had to keep putting the spray. After I got the tampons, that they call it, impactments taken out, I had to put the spray and put this lubricant in my nose to kind of keep it going. And my mouth was so dry, my lips were chapped because I kept breathing out of my mouth, and
Right.
had to sleep at a 30-degree angle because I can't lay on my back. And it was just, it was brutal. Pain wise, it wasn't bad for me at all. They gave me oxycodone.
Right.
And I had one pill the night I came home from the surgery. I never took another pill since. So
Good.
but
Yeah, good.
I didn't even, and my wife hates me because I didn't even take the antibiotics. I didn't take those either.
I know you should take the antibiotics, but whatever.
Yeah, but here I am. I thought I was going to be out for several months. I had it done on November 11th. I thought I was going to be out for like 2 months, and I was only out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, cool.
So, but it was, I feel much better. I can breathe better. But one of the side effects is I seem to have a runny nose a lot, especially with temperature change. I get a runny nose a lot from the temperature change.
Right.
So that's something I never used to have, and I hope it's not permanent. But
you still in California?
I'm in Arizona. I'm in Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I think you moved a while ago.
I moved to Scottsdale when I met my wife at a convention in California, and then I moved to Phoenix to be with her.
Right.
So
good.
But I love it here. I mean,
good.
I'm very, very happy. Like I'm the happiest I've been in my entire life, really.
Really? Congratulations, man. That means a lot.
It really does. I mean, when I first met you, I was okay, but then as time went on, it's like that I was getting more and more miserable and wanting to be out on the road a lot. Now I like
miserable's no fun. Miserable's no fun.
I like being home.
Good.
So it's just it's always
good.
This
is the right year. This is the right year to decide that.
Yes, true. It's like that. I have one question that someone had sent me, wanted to ask you, by the way.
All right.
Other than the cards that came in the action figures from the ECW figures I showed you, during your time in ECW, do you recall there was ever a talk about doing trading cards for the company at the time?
No, I don't recall. I mean, I don't think so.
To me, that seems like something like a Tommy Dreamer question.
Yeah, it is.
And so I got somebody who's friends with him trying to check to see if he wants to be a guest on here. I like to talk to him about it. See, I'm hoping to get him on.
All right. Well, good luck, man.
Reaching out to different people, and Heath and you. I'll have Kevin Nash on pretty soon, hopefully when he signs these cards. I mean, I'm reaching out to all kinds of people, trying to get people to talk about the cards, trying to create content because the market is so on fire right now with all collectibles.
But you don't have to go an hour because everybody else goes an hour. You can go 25 minutes,
That's my goal, but that's my goal.
because we've already gone 50 minutes, 45 minutes probably.
Okay, well, I'll wrap it up then. Let's get the hell out of here.
No, I mean, if we had more to talk about, I mean, other than personal, here's the thing is we just have personal stuff to talk about. As far as trading cards, we're done with that. I mean, if they want to listen to us how to discuss our personal lives, that's fine. But I mean,
I think we don't want to bore them.
Yeah.
We don't want to bore them like that. So let's wrap that up.
Talking to you, man. It's great talking to you.
It's always good talking. I haven't seen you face to face in some time, but I remember we did a booking for Wrestling Guy store last year, and
oh yeah,
and Stockton Con up in Northern California.
Yeah.
Try to really make it worth your while to be out on the West Coast for the weekend.
Yeah, the guy from Stockton Con asked me about something or whatever the other day, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "When was that?" He's like, "A year ago." I'm like, "No way."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a year ago. It seems like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah,
like forever ago.
That was Mike. Yeah, Mike Miller. Yeah, he's a good guy. I really like him.
Yeah, a real nice guy.
But and then Wrestling Guy store was happy to have you over there too, and you're always welcome to come back there too. They said.
Yeah, nice, real nice there too. But I couldn't believe it was only a year ago.
Yeah, you can't believe it was only a year ago, or that it has been a year ago.
I felt like it had been like 3-4 years since I'd been there.
Yeah, it was like I reached out to you blindly. Remember, I think the reason why we reconnected is because you tweeted something. I replied to it, and you go, "I don't recall that." And I sent you a text going, "Hey, that was me who tweeted that, by the way." You're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that because we went to the movies together, go see The Losers."
Right.
We were doing Motor City Comic Con in Novi, Michigan.
Novi, yeah.
Yep. And so we made a kind of an annual thing where I would go one night and go watch a movie. I saw The Priest with Ian Ziering in 3D.
The Priest was so disappointing.
So, wasn't it? And then I watched The Losers with you. But here's the problem: sitting next to somebody who knows the comics, is I had to hear through the entire movie, "They didn't do that in the comics. Oh, that, and then the comics, they did this." And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, okay? I'm trying to watch this movie."
It was pissing me off. But now what I do when I watch a superhero movie is I just pretend it's a part of the multiverse, it's a different universe. So that's why it's completely different. But the one that pissed me off the most was Hellboy, because the director Guillermo del Toro, he goes, "It's going to be just like the comic." It is nothing like the comic. I was so pissed. But Hellboy 2 was amazing once I got past the fact that I knew it wasn't going to be, the characters are going to be different and whatnot. But
wow,
Hellboy
you're the
2
first person. You're the first person I've heard that said Hellboy 2 was amazing.
It was one of the best comic book movies I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna have to go back and see and watch. I don't even know if I actually have seen it.
That's probably why.
No, I think I did see it. What did you think of the remake?
Yeah, it's all right.
Nothing good, huh? I haven't seen it.
It was all right. It was all right. It's worth seeing. I mean, just for completion purposes.
It's kind of where I'm at right now with certain things. I hadn't even seen the new Spider-Man movie, so I have to watch them to continue my
The new Spider-Man is amazing. Tom Holland is awesome because they finally got it right. He's a wise guy.
Yep.
Like that's the problem with who's the guy that did it first?
Tobey Maguire.
He never said anything wise ass. He's never a smart ass. Spider-Man is the biggest Weisenheimer there is,
Well, next to Deadpool.
Well, okay, yeah, Deadpool is, but anyway, but yeah, Deadpool it definitely is. But it was Spider-Man was the original Weisenheimer.
That's true. All right, man. Well, we'll wrap it up. How about that?
All right, man. It's a great job talking to you.
All right, and we'll talk again soon. All right.
All right, keep me posted.
We're out.